Good. I love that. I love that from you. Mm-hmm. Are we live?
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. Hello, Ben.
Hello, Mama Sita. How are you?
You know, I'm just doing the thing. Ready to go live for our nation's veterans.
Dang it. I was thinking you were going to do it at like 3:30 because I was trying to hurry up and get to where I was going.
Well, we barely started. Barely started. Nobody's even on yet. I don't think.
Well, hey, I'll be here. Well, let's go.
I'm sure you got plenty of questions.
Actually, I do have one. Actually, strange enough.
What's that?
I have a veteran who is signed up.
Yeah.
But she wants to sign her son up. But he got medically discharged for his ankle, but he's trying to talk to the recruiter to get back in. Can they still get rated and still get back into the military?
Yep.
Okay.
They won't get paid when they're on active duty, but when they're not, they can.
Gotcha. Copy.
Yeah. All right. We got some people hopping in with us. Hello, Joe, Casey, Tomcat. My grandpa's plane was called Tomcat because his name was Tom and my grandma's name was Catherine. Isn't that cute? I love that. I love that.
Nicholas from TikTok says, I've had a claim since 2019 in the system, appealed in 2021, and have been waiting for a VBA hearing since.
So we have a veteran on the line with us who for 5 or 6 years has been in the never-ending black hole abyss of waiting for a higher level claim adjudication to come through from the VBA. I would tell you, give us a call and let's do a little research to figure out what exactly is going on and if you even should have done a higher level review. A lot of people, that's your go-to, but that's not really the only way to go. A lot of times, if you had possibly just done a supplemental, you might have had a quicker victory. So maybe call in. We have 858-360-2227, and let's get somebody on the line to answer that very specific question.
There we go.
This is just juice.
Jonathan Champagne says he's been in our program and he's he says he's having issues with not getting things moving. So whoever's on, I guess let's just
yeah, if you're having trouble getting things moving, I can't identify here whether it's on our end, the VA's end, or whatever that is. If I were you, I'd write in now and say, need help to 858-360-2227. They'll get customer service on the line and we can figure out what the holdup is, whether it's us or the VA. Looking forward to working with you all. Have my first call tomorrow. Hello, Casey Conway. I love that for you. I'm sure we'll take very good care of you as we always do. So for those of you who have seen me before, I'm Kate Monroe, the CEO of VetComm, Marine Corps vet, rated at 100%. And my legacy, I think, hopefully, if we do it right, will be to help get 1 million veterans rated. We have an app coming out later in the year, and we've already helped, I think, by the end of this month, we will have helped 18,000 veterans in the last 12 months. We enroll about another 2,000 every single month. We have 100 and almost 90 employees now. We just hired 10 more. We'll be at 200 by the end of this month. In 20 states, serving veterans around the globe, 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. We are not a perfect company, so if you ever need us and you're not getting a quick enough response, we will not ignore you. We will always make things right. If you're on the call now and you're one of our customers and you need to reach us, 858-360-2227. Somebody in the enrollment team will get you over to customer service, make sure we get your questions answered. But what do we do here at VetComm? Well, here at VetComm, I got asked this today on the news. What do you guys do? And I think very succinctly what we do is we take all the hassle and the burden and the quagmire and BS off of your plate and put it on our plate. It's like going to Disneyland with the fast pass. You get to cut straight to the front of the line, have a concierge. We're going to make sure that we get the intent to file done, the claim made, preparation for all of your CMP exams. We actually just pivoted to doing 2 CMP exam prep classes every single day over Zoom. So some veterans jump in once, some veterans jump in every day till they take their CMP exam. So we want to make sure that we were offering a broad range of services. And the cool thing is here at VetComm, it takes the average veteran 4 months to get rated. And typically the average rating here is 70% that we get you on your first round. We just love you guys. You know, it's our goal to help you get what you're owed. Forget what you deserve. A lot of you don't feel deserving. That's not a requirement to get what you are owed. It's like getting in. I was just visiting with an Air Force actual reservist today who got in a massive accident, broke and shattered both of her feet and her lower legs. She's sitting in a wheelchair, and she was sitting there wondering, could I get rated? Yes, absolutely, you could. She was on the way to where was she on her way to do her reserve duty? I wasn't a reservist. I'm like, what was she going to do? To do her reserve duty, and we're going to get her rated. So you don't have to be deserving of it. You're just owed it. So just like she did, she got in a car accident and she's owed insurance money. You got in the military and you got accidents, you're owed VA disability compensation. I got AJ. I just got to 100% P&T. Thanks to you guys. We're so glad that you did. And Aaron Tim said, so far, you guys have been great for my case. Tomcat says, Kate, thank you. And Brian, you guys rock. My claim goes back to 1985. Very good. Bob Carroll just entered your program. Robert Scrivener, however you say that. Is it necessary to be diagnosed for anxiety and depression to get rated at the VA? So let's talk about mental health for a second. Okay. So mental health is the biggest thing you could get rated for. If we had a fruit bowl, like an empty bowl, and we had to fill it up to get to 100%, that mental health is going to be a grapefruit. We always talk to veterans and we always say, hey, if you have any mental health issues, we need to get you rated. And anxiety is the most common thing that veterans have. And so you do have to be diagnosed with it. Yes and no. Yes, you do. It's helpful if you are diagnosed on a piece of paper. Somebody has, said that you are. But I would tell you that about at least half the claims we make for mental health, especially anxiety, if it was driven by the nature of what you did for your job, like let's say that you worked on a flight line. If you worked on a flight line, it's known to cause constant state of ready anxiety, meaning every day I had to do such a good job to make sure that nobody, died on the job. That makes you have like a nervous tick sort of perfectionism anxiety, and that's compensable at 50 to 70%. And a lot of people don't get diagnosed with it, but it's evident by what you did in the military. So Robert, I would write in and talk to an enrollment specialist now. They're all waiting on the line, 858-360-2227. Say help, say free claim review, whatever it is. You guys can clearly see behind me the number to call in. Any of you that are on today, if you choose to become a VetComm veteran, we are going to give you a discount for being on the live today. So whether it's your day to sign up or not, make sure that you write in 858-360-2227 today so we can keep track of whether or not you were in the live. So the day that you do pull the trigger, you still have that discount. I was recently denied my claims. I was using VetComm services. What's the next step I should take? So Christopher Young, that's a good question. So if you have noticed in our terms and conditions, if you make a claim with us and we don't move the needle, meaning you don't go from 80 to 90 or 70 to 80, 10 to 20, whatever it is, we didn't move the needle, we're going to go again. And you might wonder, why would you even offer to go again? Because it's duplicitous work. It's a lot of work for your company. Yes, it is. But we offer that because we know the VA is likely to deny you on your first round. They hope that you take your ball and go home. They don't know that you have VetComm on your side, and we're just going to go right at bat. So Christopher Young, I would write in and say you need a claim review, and somebody from the team will schedule that, 858-360-2227. How about referrals? We are about to launch a massive referral program here, hopefully in the next 60 to 90 days. We will keep track of your referrals, though, in the system. So if you have referrals, reach out to your favorite enrollment specialist here, or you can send them directly to our website. Anyone else?
Yeah, Knox from TikTok says, I'm scared to even try. My ears are messed up, my knees are bad, and I just never wanted to bother.
So Knox says he's scared to even try. I would argue that you are scared to try and fail. That's where that anxiety, the fear of failure, and panic comes up. Because for a second, excitement and fear are the opposite sides of the same coin. They can give you the same physiological response. So let's say you talk to us and we say, hey, based on what you told me, I think you could get $2,000 a month for the rest of your life. And for a second, you feel excited. But a couple seconds later, you feel like, well, what if I get excited and I put the thing in and I go to all the appointments and I do the work just for them to tell me to F off, and now I have nothing and I tried all this, and then how am I going to feel? And so we have that abandonment thing. We're like, nope, I don't even know if it's for me. That's our job. Our job is to do all that worrying. Your job is simply to decide that you want to get compensated, want to get what you're owed. It's our job to go after it for you. This fear of failure thing is something the VA relies on, guys. They rely on you being anxious. They rely on you not having help. So think about that. They prey on that. That's very predatory. That's very nasty. That's why you get help. Because on days like this, when you feel anxious about doing it, you can call up somebody in customer service. They'll talk you off the ledge and keep you going. So I would tell you, you're owed it. It's for you. It's not as hard to get as you think. You don't have to have a perfect claim. There's no such thing as a perfect claim. It doesn't exist. If you're sitting there waiting for perfection in a state of analysis paralysis, you're watching and not winning, you're waiting and not rating, you're sitting on the bench in the trench, not getting compensated, let today be your day. Take the first step. Step numero uno, we text in, help, free claim review, whatever you want to say, to 858-360-2227. Today's your day and this is for you. Finish 2 calls. Can't wait for the next one. Hello, Mike Malone. Very good. Steve Whaley, I had 10% disability for arthritis in both my hip. I had hip replacement surgery and they still did not give me an increase. I also had a quadruple bypass. Sheesh, man. And you had 20% for hypertension and they still haven't increased that either. Mike Wally, I don't know if you're one of our clients or not, but if you are, call in. Let's talk about it. If you're not, we should probably have a conversation because it sounds to me like you got a bucket of a lot of stuff you're not getting compensated for. 858-360-2227. Mike Dixon, you helped me overcome my anxiety and push me to file. Not really a question, but just want to let others know that they do not need their medical records on hand. No, you don't. Everybody always thinks you do. You know where you get your medical records from? You get it from the VA. So this mystery that you have to have your records in your hand from service is not true. You have a good mind and you remember, hey, I fell off this truck. I have this thing, combat PTSD. Oh, I broke my nose. Oh, I hurt my elbow, whatever it is. You know that. We're going to make the claims. They already have the records stored in their system. So let us all stop and thinking we got to wait 18 months for our records, and let's just go after it today, okay? This one says, can you talk about the S-word allergy? John Welsh, I don't know exactly what you mean by that, but I would like you to write in again so that I can understand your question better. Okay. Hey, do you think a nexus letter is needed for right ankle secondary to left ankle? Okay. I want to explain what a nexus letter really is, what its job is, and then you can tell me if you think you need one. Okay. So a nexus letter, the word nexus, let's start there, means origin. So the letter's intention, its job is to tie the origin of the disability to service or to another service connected disability. I have only seen, out of the almost 18,000 veterans we've helped, I've only seen 4 or 5 really good nexus letters out of that many people. They were clearly created by ChatGPT. They weren't really that good. All these services you guys use to go get ChatGPT letters, the VA knows they're not as dumb as we like to think. They're maniacal, but they're not stupid, okay? So I wouldn't worry about having a nexus letter because the nexus is typically evident in your service record, your medical record, and it's usually evident by what you did for your job. So if you were jumping out of airplanes and landing on the ground a bunch, well, the nexus of the thing is your service. You were jumping out of airplanes and you banged your body up. You don't need a nexus letter for that. You worked on a flight line. You have anxiety. You don't need a nexus letter for that. You were deployed and in combat. You don't need a nexus letter for that. So we will tell you on the call if we think you need a nexus letter. Most of you waste a ton of money. What we would rather do is pull the correct DBQ, fill it out for you, and get a doctor to just sign it. Very simple. Your doctors love to sign DBQs. They're very simple forms. The VA raters like to get the DBQs because they know where everything on the form lives. Imagine being a rater and you have someone's giant, there's more, it's not always better. Sometimes you give people too much evidence. They're like, oh God, let's put this guy to the bottom of the stack. Shit, I don't have 9 years to read through this. You give them a 5-page ChatGPT letter. They're not going to read it, and you paid $2,000 for it. Okay. So I don't think that you need it, but what I would do is call in, talk to an enrollment specialist, 858-360-2227. Are you only offering a free review and no promo code to discount the price? So if you take on the free review and you purchase from the from being on the live, yes, you do get a discount. So you get the free strategy call and you get a discount for being on the live. Cody, COTY. Go ahead.
Someone on Instagram wants to know, is smoking or drinking addiction considered?
Smoking, not so much, but alcoholism, especially secondary to PTSD, depression, anxiety, those types of things. Yes, you can get rated for that. But I'd like to see you get rated for the big mental health issue that's driving the alcoholism in the first place. Okay, that's what we need to work on first. So we have PTSD, MST, depression, anxiety that's getting us to drink. So let's get both things rated. Let's get the primary thing rated and the secondary thing rated.
I was getting a lot of questions about pricing earlier. So what are all the payment options? Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about all the payment options. Before I do, I want to address something that I was thinking about. Sometimes I do a lot of thinking about our veterans and our pricing. So I had this thought, and a lot of veterans go, well, it should be free to get rated. Yeah, I'm a veteran. I agree with you. It should be free to get rated. But the thing that you have to do is delineate. We have to separate the truth of the matter. Is it really free if it costs you everything? So let's say that you go to a free service and they wait for your record. So they waste a bunch of your time. Probably not even going to get the record. In your record, there's not much. So you're going to get rated for tinnitus or hearing loss. You're going to get about $170, but it was free. But it would cost you $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 or $4,000 a month. So it gets very costly to do it for free. So I'm going to defend our position and tell you why I think not only do I know for a fact we're the least expensive, highest ROI on the dollar, quickest to getting you rated for the most amount of money. Those are four incredible things. And we have a money back guarantee because we're crazy. Okay. So the first way that you can go with us is $11.97. $11.97 gives you $900 off of our full price, which is $2,100. If you pay up front, $11.97, you only pay that. You do not give us $1 of back pay. No matter how many times we tell veterans this, we laugh because they get rated and then they never even tell us they get rated because they're so scared we're going to ask them for more money. And we're like, bro, we just want a good testimonial. We love you. So we don't take any back pay. So it's $11.97 once, although it's cheaper today. If you're on the live, it's even cheaper. It's back to our old pricing. Some of you know. There's also 3 payments of $500 or 6 payments of $350. We did put payment plans in place. Now we're not a bank. So if we have to wait for the money, we are going to get closer to our full price of $2,100, but $11.97. And I want you to think about this. I asked ChatGPT to compare. We'll look at it like an investment of $11.97. And let's compare it if you invest it into yourself with the VA versus if you put it in gold, stocks, or in a house. Watch this crazy math. For $11.97, guaranteed, $1,197, you're likely with VetComm to get $2,000 or more for the rest of your life, $24,000 a year, $720,000 over 30 years. Because a lot of us have 30 years or more left to go. Some of us 40, 50, however much it is. But gold, if you put in $11.97 over 30 years, you'd only make $6,800. Stocks, you'd make about $21,000 over 30 years for $11.97. It's better than gold, but it doesn't beat that $720,000 in VA disability compensation. Real estate, $11.97 wouldn't even cover the closing cost, even on a VA loan. So you wouldn't even be in the ball game of getting a home for $11.97. But you know how you could get a house? Like the other almost 400 people in San Diego County alone in the last 12 months. You could get yourself $2,000 to $4,000 a month, and then you could not only get all that money, then you could afford to buy a house. So everybody wants everything to be free. I would love everything to be free. That's just not how life works. We could all go to Disneyland and everybody can stand in the line to ride the Matterhorn and get, what is it when you get vertigo, which is what I get if I ride that ride. I get slammed around too much. So you can wait around the sun all day with your kids, be absolutely miserable with everyone else. Or you could choose to use VetComm, which would be like getting the Genie Pass, and you would have no hassle, ride all the rides, have a great time, cut the line, and we're absolutely awesome. So that is our pricing. $11.97 once, 3 payments of $500 or 6 payments of $350. If you want to do a review, 858-360-2227. Okay, let's see. Caesar said he did the gold package. I love that. Caesar, I've been with you guys for 14 months, have my exams tomorrow, my coaching calls tonight. During the process, I did have my OTH upgrade to honorable discharge for VA. I love that, Caesar. Hell yes. I'm so glad you got your discharge upgraded. That's not something we necessarily take on, but we definitely have a packet and we push people and help them get their OTHs flipped. I absolutely love that. In fact, I'm going to start working on legislation for this OTH issue. Hopefully we'll be there in around September, October time. Or the GI Bill. I don't know what you're asking about the GI Bill. Anybody else?
Yeah, I got a question from TikTok. I have near constant tinnitus related to artillery first Gulf War. Does that sound pretty solid to you?
So he's saying he has artillery related tinnitus. Does that sound solid to me? I think what you're asking is, having artillery based tinnitus, should I be getting rated for it? Yes, you absolutely should. But it can also give you anxiety and insomnia. And likely, if you're in artillery, depending on where you served, you might also have PTSD. So that we always focus on like these little fruits, like grapes and not grapefruits. Okay. Grapes would be tinnitus, hearing loss, smaller orthopedic scars. We need to be focused on the mental health, the GERD, the IBS, the migraines, the TBI, some of these bigger things, the sleep apnea. That's what's going to get us over the line. Not that we don't want to like get them rated small and stack them tall. That's fine, but we need some big things to put in there. Oh, Jesus. I did not call Sherry. I am the freaking worst. I am the worst. Where's my phone? You have my phone? I am the freaking worst human being alive. Can you put your name right here, Sherry? I'm going to call you live and at least say hi so I can prove to everyone I am not the a-hole that I appear to be at this present moment. You guys are the worst. You don't remind me. You did try to remind me. Rachel's like, bullshit. I tried to remind you. That's because you guys work me. This is slave labor. You guys are working me to freaking death. Okay, we have to call Sherry. Like literally, I'm going to get off the call. If you don't make me call Sherry, everyone's dead. Okay. All right, what else do we have? You can't say the D word either, probably. I don't know.
Okay, so we got, oh man, I got a little lost here. Okay, it says, what if they put you in the mental hospital and medicine? Like if they gave you medicine?
So if you got put into a mental hospital, whether it be since service or in service, and you take medicine for it, you know, any kind of antidepressant or whatever, you should be getting paid for that. All mental health things, whether it be PTSD, MST, anxiety, depression, you need to be getting paid all of the money for those things. That is the most oppressive to your life in some regard. There are people missing both legs that don't have depression and anxiety that are happier than people that have all their limbs and do have depression and anxiety. You need to be getting compensated. Daryl says, do you help with SMC? Yes, we do. So SMC is special monthly compensation for everybody who's not totally rated. Special monthly compensation means that the disability that you have actually can get paid higher. So people think when I get to 100%, that's all the pay that I can get, but that's not true. SMC gives you anywhere from $150 to $1,000 more. So you might want to pursue some of those things. We also can help you with CRSC, meaning you are a retiree, you serve for 20 years, you are rated. It helps if you're rated for mental health. Then we can get you part of your retirement tax-free as well, which is what CRSC is. So there's a lot of extra things. If you're like, what are these things? You should put in help free claim review to 858-360-2227.
Do you deal with other than honorable discharges as well? And how do I get my discharge upgraded from OTH to honorable? Okay, so for all the people who have OTHs that are watching right now, it's so interesting. There's a certain era where they were giving them out like tchotchkes. Like, I'm like, what? Like, the stuff that you guys have OTHs for is absurd to me. It wouldn't even like meet the criteria of getting an OTH at this present moment, but I digress. So OTHs, if you have a clean service period, fast, easy way to get involved. Yes. Very simple. If your OTH is mental health related, sometimes we can find a workaround for it because it's our job to fire the round. The VA might grab it and go, hey, yeah, fine, whatever. This is directly service connected and they'll make you good for VA purposes. You may never flip your OTH, but you might get it okay for VA purposes where you can get compensated and get treated like a veteran when it comes to VA home loans and all the rest of that. So if you want to explore more of those questions, 858-360-2227.
3,000 degrees with the Z. I like that. If you are 100% disabled and have high mental health rating, can you still try to get education through VRNE or GI Bill? So I pursued using VRNE because my GI Bill expired. It expired like 1 month before I wanted to use it, which is insane. But it expired. And my husband said, this was before I was rated or knew anything. I was green. I didn't know anything. He said, hey, you can go get rated. And apparently when you're rated, you can use VRNE. So I only got rated so I could use VRNE in the first place. I ended up getting 70% on my first round. And then I ended up getting to go to college, full college. They paid the whole stipend, paid for $48,000 worth of school. I went and got an organizational leadership degree, and I'm 100%. And for most people, when you're 100%, you're automatic. Now, we do have a course when you become a customer. It teaches you exactly how to crack the code and win VRNE to go to actual college. They want to have you do vocational or like, oh, I'm going to help you get a job. It's like, no, I want to go to college and I want to get my stipend. We have the program for that. Hopefully that helped.
Tasmanian Devil from TikTok says, why is the VA sending me back for another CNP exam? I just had the same one in June.
If you just had the same one in June, it could be one of two things. They didn't find that the person who examined you did a thorough enough examination, or they did something incorrectly. It could also be that it's an error. So anybody on here who's trying to figure out, like, why is the VA doing X, Y, and Z? I'm going to give you the catch-all number for the VA. Put it in your phone. We just call it just put in VA 1000. It's the 1000 number. 800-827-1000. 800-827-1000. That's the VA's catch-all number, and I'm sure they'll be willing to tell you that at that time. All my work has been done through the VA. Mike Bayless, very good. And when you go to do business with us, we'll be able to get in the My Healthy Vet record, pull those records, and make your claim very easily. He says, okay, I need your help, 3,000 degrees. Well, I better see you writing into 858-360-2227. I'm 60% hypertensive and 0% hypertension. I'm 75. I don't plan on working anymore. I'm not working at the moment. Should I file for unemployability? We could help you file for unemployability if you want. We like to see you get 100% P&T though. It comes with a different benefit set, but we also you want to be P&T. You want to be able to, if you decide to work again or make money, you don't want to be limited by the unemployability. Mike Bayless, I would write in 858-360-2227.
Someone from TikTok says, so what should I do if I have 30 days of active duty left and I haven't done my VA claims yet at all?
What is their name?
Trippy, I can't say this.
Trippy. Trippy, honey. Come to mama. We got to get you rated, bud. We got to get you going. I probably sound like I'm drinking. I'm not, actually. I'm just hyped up. Okay. So if you are currently in the service and you're thinking about doing a BDD claim, an exit claim, we'd like to catch you before you're a month out, but this is sprint time, bud. We need to get the intent to file in right now and get these claims in, because the best time, the easiest time to get what you're owed is on the way out. Okay. Or within that 1 year mark. If I were you, I'd write in right now, 858-360-2227, write in like emergency fire help. So someone can get to you. Go ahead.
On Instagram, I have anxiety issues, but it wasn't in my medical records during active service. But I have evidence that it stems from that period of time. I was constantly aggressive towards superiors. Do I have a claim?
Yes, you do. You absolutely have a claim. If something happened in your military service, a lot of times it happens from an MST, but it can also happen from combat or being put under like constant scrutiny and perfectionism, and just you can get that PTSD kind of flash rage. If that has been evident in your service record, slam dunk. Let's get it done. 858-360-2227, write in free claim review. Let's make it happen.
If you're going through the IDES, are you automatically qualified for VRNE?
Okay. I'm going to help you out on VRNE. There's a lot of ways that you supposedly automatically qualify. That doesn't mean you're going to win. Qualifying and winning VRE are like as far apart as we are from the moon. Okay. If you get signed up here, we will help walk you through winning the type of VRNE you're trying to get, because just because you qualify does not mean they're going to give it to you. They very rarely give it to you. They do not hand it out like tchotchkes. They are very miserly with their VRNE. You would think it was their money you're taking out of their pocket. There's a very good strategy to win. I used it myself, and I built that entire VRNE program that we have in our system through all of my trial and error to win it.
I'm in step 5 of 8 of my claims process, and no CMP exam has been scheduled yet. Should I be concerned?
You should be a little concerned if you're on that step. What I would do is if you're one of our clients, call in 858-360-2227. If you're not one of our clients, you should be, because you're at the point where you're like, oh crap, like what's going on? And they might just adjudicate your claim without seeing you. So we need to pattern interrupt that right now. But call that catch-all number 800-827-1000. Say, hey, how come I haven't been seen? And get them to tell you. I have Daryl saying, can you use SSA claims for medical evidence? I'm not going to say what that is aloud. Yes, you can. Yes, you absolutely can. I did. That's why I'm 100% rated. Yes, you can, Daryl. And if you want to talk to me specifically about that particular thing, write in 858-360-2227 and say, I need to speak to Kate about SSA. Okay?
Oh, we got Carlos saying he's at 94%. How difficult will it be for him to get to 100?
These days at 94?
94.
Bro, you only need to get to 95. Like one thing. Let's just win one thing. Give this to me. Oh my God, it's like a Rubik's Cube, and it's like one more. Dude, you win. Okay? Yes, if you're at 94, you're probably almost already 95. You need to win one thing. Write in, let's look at the things you're rated for and pick the one thing that's underrated and pop it up and get you to that 100%. Write in 858-360-2227.
He's already a customer.
He's already a customer. Oh, yes. Yeah. You're going to win. Dunker over the rim. Yes. I just finished my first round, got 80%, sending my findings to you all tomorrow. Ross, you got 80%. I love that. Go for round 2. First and foremost, thank you for being for us veterans and by you veterans. You're watching this. Truly, I recommend utilizing VetComm. Thank you, Ross Scott. Love you, bud. Rachel's sitting here with me. I'm sure she'll love to get your testimonial done. It's so funny. You would think that like doing testimonials wouldn't be that fun, but we don't always get to hear from veterans when they win. And she's the person who gets to hear all the good news of the company. She's always like, we got so-and-so to hear. It's so cool. So we love you guys for standing up and saying that we do good work. Thank you. Go ahead.
On Instagram, I had my intent to file meeting today. Should I start seeing a doctor about any of the problems I'm thinking of filing for? And then he also says, super impressed with you guys so far. So
hopefully he's working with us. It doesn't hurt you to have evidence. We'd like to upload it when we make the claim, right? We can keep uploading it, but yes, get whatever evidence you can possibly get now. Yep. Since I'm 100% PNT, can I apply for SSDI or do I have to stop working? You're not going to concurrently collect the SSDI and your job. So I would tell you for peace of mind and your mental health, if you can keep working and it's something you like to do, keep working. You're going to make more doing that than you will be on SSDI. If you're just barely able to work, just barely getting by, and the money's similar between your work and the SSDI, absolutely pursue it. I will tell you though, when you're 100% rated, veteran, they're going to fast pass your SSDI and they almost always deny it. So you might want to have a conversation with us about that. 858-360-2227. I was referred a friend of VetComm, but he already is being helped by an attorney. He hasn't paid the attorney yet. What do you guys have to say to my friend? He just switched to your services. Yes, he just needs to send them an email and say he no longer wishes to do business. He hasn't paid them anyway, and say he would like to work with VetComm. They're likely not listed on his va.gov. So I wouldn't worry about that. But if he wants a specific answer, we're happy to talk to him. Alex, have him write in 858-360-2227.
Shanta says she just wants to thank us for helping her get to 100% PNT. So
what is her name?
Shanta. Shanta Fire.
Shanta, you got to 100%. I love that. You guys have no idea how exciting it is if you haven't been rated. When it's like, it's so funny. So the other day, somebody was doing a claim review or talking to a veteran, and they were like, when is it going to come through? When am I going to get rated? And our agent pulled it up, and it just happened to pop that morning, and the veteran hadn't heard out. And they were like screaming on the phone together, running around in both of their houses, like freaking out that he hit 100%. So it's exciting. So it's worth the pursuit. Let's get it done. I'm at 84%. It feels like we're just throwing to see what sticks. No, not part of our process. If you're in our process and you're feeling like that and you want to talk to me about it, you're more than welcome to. 858-360-2227. Dinaman said, I just started working with y'all. I'm currently gathering information from doctors. I've enjoyed the experience so far. Thank you so much. Glad. Did my person just submit my claims and hoping for one thing to stick and just get 90%? You might have the impression, Tyler, that we don't have a strategy together, but you got to think if we've done 18,000 claims, we have a strategy. I mean, are we submitting things hoping they stick? We're submitting things knowing likely they will stick. I would say that hope is not necessarily part of VetComm strategy. If you are doing anything and hoping that you win, you're likely not to win. So, Tyler, if you're having an issue, an anxiety issue over how this is going, I would like to speak with you personally. So write in and say, I need to talk to Kate, 858-360-2227.
On Instagram, we have, I was signed up with you last year and was denied for claims without getting an appointment. Is that normal?
You were denied for your claims without getting an appointment. No, it is not normal, and we need to make a second round of claims and you need to write in. You're owed a second round of claims if you didn't win anything anyway. So I would not be sleeping on this. Write in 858-360-2227. Say active customer need another round.
Doug asks, is it realistic to get 100% if I go through you guys? I'm currently at 90.
What was the first part?
Is it realistic to get 100%?
If you're already at 90, is it realistic to get to 100? Yes. Is it? If you're owed 100%, you're likely to get it. Not everyone is owed 100%. But if you're at 90, I would say everyone at 90, you're really already 100%. They're just not compensating you at 100%. That means they've been taking one down and putting one up and trying to get all the math to keep you below hitting 95. We will eventually hit it. For all you 90%ers watching, thinking, should I go for 100? Hell yes, because it's almost double the money, an extraordinary amount of benefits. But we're going to go 3 rounds for you for the same dollar to get you to the 100 because we know it takes strategy. It might take, multiple, rounds out of the gun. So get it done. If you're sitting at 90, you're sleeping on a lot of money. You're sleeping on double the income. So let's just go tackle it and get it done. This is the last leg of the race. Let's just finish what we started.
How far back will they back pay? I got out in 95, have MST and PTSD in my records.
If you have those in your records and you have not ever made a claim before and been denied, they're going to pay you back to the day we make the intent to file. So while you're sitting here right now wondering whether or not you should be compensated, you're not collecting any back pay. And as somebody who survived a very brutal, nasty MST, you're owed every dollar of that compensation, and we need to get going on it right now. The second we make the intent to file, you're going to stack up back pay to that day, and then you're going to get started getting paid going forward. Any of you that have been assaulted, your service shouldn't have come with a side of assault. I don't care if it was sexual advances you didn't like, quid pro quo, actual assault, like whatever it was. That is not part of military service. You don't need to be shy about it. You don't need to keep it to yourself. You don't need to just deal with it, dirt it off, and move on. Absolutely not. You need to be getting paid for it. Okay? So I want you to write in 858-360-2227. Let's get you paid.
We got a few people saying just thank you for helping them. TD10 says, you're out from ETS and the Army won't diagnose me with the issues I'm having from the sticky poke vaccine.
All of you that were forced to get that vaccine, first off, I want to be the first to apologize to you for that because that's freaking horrible and awful. I remember being in the Marine Corps going through like a gauntlet of shots, and I'm glad that the COVID shot wasn't one of them. But yeah, they are very nasty to not want to be diagnosing that. What you could do, if you're bringing it up that you think it's related to that, just stop saying that. Wait a month or two and then go back and just get one thing done at a time. Like whatever issue you're having, just go in for that one issue. Don't even bring up the jab. Let them just diagnose you with having it. And then it'll be our job to tie it to the shot. Okay. And quite frankly, whether it was the shot or not, if you can get it on paper, we're going to get you compensated for it. No matter if it started in service, that's all that matters. Brian, Brenda, Hulk, I have anxiety on my claim. Would like to talk to Kate. I am a member of VetComm. Please write in then to 858-360-2227 and ask specifically to say you're a customer and I said you could talk to me. Serious question, considering that you're extremely busy, industrious, and practically ubiquitousness. When do you sleep? Robert Freestone, believe it or not. So here's a day in the life of Kate Monroe, crazy person. So I have an 8-year-old on top of being the CEO of this company, helping veterans, being on the news, running for Congress, like all this stuff. I keep a really good schedule. I get up in the morning at about 6 o'clock. By 6:30, my little son and I go walk 2 miles, go get coffee, and he gets his hot chocolate. I'm not crazy. I don't give him coffee. And we go on that walk together, get back, make the lunches, get the breakfast going, get to work. I managed to fit in a workout. I've written 7 books in the last year, run this company, run for Congress. Honestly, I think I get a lot of traction. So by the time I go to bed at night, I go right to sleep. That's how I do it. I have given the day all I have, and I've trained my mind to shut off. I literally get in bed and say to myself at night, you earned the sleep you're about to get. You cannot solve the world's problems from bed. And if you don't sleep tonight, you're going to carry this anxiety and this hurt and this tiredness into tomorrow, and you're going to marginalize your success, and too many people rely on you. And I say this to myself and then take my sleeping pill, and then I go to bed. If I don't sleep, I am not worth a damn. So I got to sleep. So any of you having a hard time sleeping, you need to figure it out. Whether you need to get a sleeping pill or whatever it is, or just have to go through that little mantra like I do. But yeah, I think I just wear myself out and I go to sleep. That's what I do. Go ahead.
Quiet Professional from TikTok says, there's a character limit on the live, and I have a very long story. I got 60% awarded in 2008, and then I rejoined, and now I'm retiring November 25th. Can you help?
Not only can we help, you're going to absolutely crush it because you've made a claim. You went back in, you're retiring. Retirees, if they work with us, almost always get to 100. You have enough stuff in that long record and all that time in service that we can stack it tall enough to get you there. Let's get going on it now though, because I know it doesn't seem like it, but November might as well be tomorrow. So let's get it going. Write in 858-360-2227. Is chronic fatigue presumptive? It depends on when you serve, but yes, it is one of the things that we can get you rated for. I would write in. Let's talk about it. 858-360-2227. What's your skincare? You look younger. Well, I'm 46, and not going to lie, there is a filter on. I do look reasonably attractive without the filter, but it is filtered. That's a true story. Now, if you go to my YouTube, you can see me on the news, not filtered. It's not that much worse, but woo, we are having some real problems over here. They're trying to give me a freaking seizure. Good afternoon. Just joined. I'm very impressed with the service so far. Looking forward to getting the claim done. Peter Zach, we are looking forward to getting your claim done as well. Han says, I'm at 92, 50% PTSD, so let's get that to 70. Shit, where'd you go, bud? Where did Hans go? Oh, here he is. Got denied for OSA with CPAP, GERD, diagnosis, and Barrett's esophagus. How can I get this secondary? Okay. So if you're at 92, your PTSD needs to go to 70, and we only have to get one of these things to a 30 and you win. So Hans, if I were you, you got a very quick path to 100. Let's just make it happen. I bet you in 90 days we could get you there. 858-360-2227. I have all the same things that you have. I know exactly how to do it.
The Real Orion asks, how do y'all get us rated for things that we don't have on record?
So how do we get you rated for things you don't have on record? So it's a myth that you have to have everything on record. It is a myth that you have to have everything on record. Who do you think came up with that story? Was it the VA? Because here's the thing. The VA also simultaneously says they only have to be 50% sure or not that your disability started in service. So what they have done is they have said, based on what you do in your job, they already categorize things that we would call secretly presumptive. So if you jump out of planes, you're going to have a bunch of orthopedics. If you worked on a flight line, you were a nuke, you were an intel, there's certain jobs that come with anxiety. If you went to combat, you're going to have, survivor's guilt, PTSD, depression. If you worked on certain ships, you're going to have GERD, IBS, Barrett's esophagus. If you were a Navy SEAL drowning in the shit water here in San Diego, you're going to have GERD. A buddy of mine's has to drink water while he's just sitting there eating every single bite because he's going to choke to death. It's a myth. I would not continue to think that just because I don't have it in my service record, I'm not going to get paid. That's 70% of our clients. The $7 billion on the low side that we've won for veterans, 70% of that was done without any records. So if you're sitting there without records, let's get it going. Joe says, I just started with you guys this week. So far, I'm happy just getting started, just knowing less stress I'll have to face compared to trying it myself. We actually, I don't know. I wish I could see you all on Zoom so I could be like, oh, show of hands. So we got, I don't know if you guys seen The Predator, but most of you veterans at a certain era, you saw the movie Predator. It was a freaking great film. Richard Chavez, who was in The Predator, he came to me as a customer, a buddy of mine, an actor, said, hey, Kate, can you help my buddy Richard? And I was like, hell yeah, we can help Richard. 2 months ago, we started helping Richard, and he's already at 100%. And he just came to the office to do a little Q&A with us and do a testimonial. But I want to tell you something so cute that I want you guys to realize. Before Richard came to us, Richard was working by himself trying to do this, and he almost gave up. And then he found VetComm, and he got a ton of help. We had Richard stand, and we had all the people working in the office this Wednesday. There was about 60 of us in the office, and we all jumped in to take a picture with us. It hit him in that moment how many people he had supporting him and behind him, and he started to cry. That's what you need. We are not like one person in a dinghy, out in the ocean trying to get you, you rated. We're almost 200 people standing on the bow of a battleship coming pointed directly at the VA. And we want to put you on that battleship with us. Our logo literally is a shield. We want you to get behind the shield so we're like doing Marvel level, superhero work over here at VetComm. And you need to get on the bus. You need to get on the team and get going and let us do for you what we did for Richard Chavez.
AJ Smith says, I got denied my anxiety. What should I do next?
We probably need to do a supplemental claim. Anything that you got denied, let's do a supplemental claim, meaning we can introduce one piece of new evidence, literally anything. We'll help you make it. And then we'll go do a supplemental, and we're likely to win. They like to deny you for your mental health claims because they know they got to pay you a lot for them. So if they deny you, we're just going to right at bat. Guys, just sign up with them. I signed up with them last March, 80%. It only took 4 months to get me to 100. I love that for you, AJ. Enjoy that 100, bud. You have no idea how much I've needed this. Renata Beverly. Aw, I do understand how much you needed it. I did all of it by myself. I did, I got assaulted in the Marine Corps. I had a parasite eat this side of my face. I smashed my nose in an eye socket, broke my right elbow, broke 2 ribs, broke my right ankle. I had a very hard time. And then on top of all that, I went and did all of this stuff to get myself rated, and I almost gave up so many times. I do know exactly how much you guys need it. I know how much you need it. That's why I created VetComm. The intention was so you don't have to go this alone. And, we know that there's 1.3 million veterans at the brink of homelessness, and our goal is to help them get rated so that they don't actually end up on the street. We know that 15 die on the street per day, 22 go by way of the S word I'm not allowed to say here. Our goal is to help make you whole again and help get you compensated and get you some closure, and that's really our job.
On Instagram, I missed my scheduled appointment last month. I've tried to reschedule but haven't heard back since. Is there another number to call?
Write in right now, 858-360-2227. Say, I need to reschedule my appointment. Someone will reach out to you right now. I would tell you on our appointments here, if you get in our system and we ask you for an appointment time, you need to give us a time you can actually be there. Okay. We have 15% of all appointments in the claims department do not show up. We reschedule them, but that was 15% of people could have been seen when you didn't show up. So if you're one of our clients, I would encourage you to show up to your scheduled appointment, because if you don't tell us ahead of time, we can't serve another veteran in that time and space. You got to take you serious enough to show up on time. Now, we understand life happens. People get in car accidents, family things happen, whatever. But you need to let us know ahead of time so we can get you back scheduled, back going again, and get another veteran in that same time and space.
On Instagram, we have, where does the evidence come from if you don't have medical records for active duty time or aren't getting treatment presently?
So evidence, there's this mythical evidence thing. Everybody thinks it has to be in your service record, or like I had to go right to a doctor. Your own lay statement is a piece of evidence. Stuff off Google is a piece of evidence. A DBQ signed by your doctor that we can help you go get is a piece of evidence. A buddy statement is a piece of evidence. There's so much evidence that we can help you come up with that they actually prefer. So I wouldn't be thinking, I don't have any evidence. Sometimes the evidence you need is just you did this particular job in service, and that's the evidence that you need. So why don't we talk about where your case sits, what evidence you think you do and don't have, and see if we can do it with or without it. 858-360-2227. We're going to go for about another 5 minutes. I'm going to rattle through as many questions as I possibly can. How's it looking these days compared to before as far as thyroid disease to burn pits and the forever chemicals? I think right now, all the burn pit stuff is performing really well, especially as it relates to having GERD and IBS. Like amazing. The thyroid stuff, all of that. If any of you that have the PACTAC stuff, have presumptives, have like the jet fuel on ships, all these things, everything you were huffing unknowingly, we will get you rated for all of those things. Can I claim psoriasis as a presumptive claim due to Terra or burn pit exposure? Tons of skin conditions. Yes, you can. I have no service record showing I had the condition, but have been dealing with this condition. So your presumptive means it probably wasn't in your records, but they presume that you have it because of what you did, what you were exposed to, and when you were exposed to it. So I wouldn't worry about having those old records for those things. Anything else?
Paul says, can I claim sleep apnea even though it started after I retired?
You can claim the sleep apnea even though it happened after you retired, but we need to get something else claimed first, right? So we need to get a mental health, a sinusitis, a rhinitis, an obesity, a something. I don't know you well enough to know what we can tie it to, but there's probably a lot of things that you can get this tied to. So let's talk about it. 858-360-2227. One thing with scheduling, please put what time zone on the appointments when the email is sent out. The email, when you get it and you save it to your calendar, we know in our system where you live. We already have your time zone. So when it's sent to you, it's the correct time. So when you put it in your time zone, even if it's 9 a.m. in our time and you live on the East Coast, it's going to put the East Coast time, your correct time in your calendar. At least it should. So try saving it to your calendar. It should save it at the correct time, your time, because we serve people around the world.
Do y'all take out of our back pay after we get to 100%?
We take $0 of back pay no matter what you get. I'm going to go through the pricing really quick and do a swift little call to action before I hop off. So we have 3 pricing models. The first being if you can do the $11.97 plan today, you're going to get a discount because you're on the live. So you could do $11.97 once, 3 payments of $500 or 6 payments of $350. We have 2 payment plans to answer your question, Joshua. You can do a payment plan if you don't have the $11.97. Because you are all watching us right now, you are going to get a discount off the $11.97 price. So I would write in 858-360-2227. And we don't take a lick of back pay. We also guarantee. So if after the first round, if we fail, we're going to go another round and not charge you. If we fail again, we'll go a 3rd round or give your money back. We don't feel like we won if you don't win. We don't just go, oh, well, sorry. No, we're going to go take another at bat, assuming that the VA is preying on the fact that you would leave otherwise. That's why we're here to go, no, we're not quitting. Absolutely not. We're going to go another at bat and you're going to win. So let us do our work. Mine said 8 a.m., but was 11 your time. I'll assume you're on the East Coast. So if it was at 8 a.m., that's because it was Pacific Standard Time, 8 a.m., and you are at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So you need to give them the right time, your time, when you're booking the appointments. Anybody else?
My C&P examiner incorrectly reported my range of motion results. What can I do?
I would report them if you're our customer. Let's talk about that. If you're not our customer, let's talk about that. 858-360-2227. So I'm going to tell you all what to do right now. I've said this many times. If you're watching me right now, there's a very low chance that you aren't trying to get rated for more. Unless I'm that entertaining, which I'll take it. That's fine. But I have to think it's because you're trying to get rated for something or for more than what you have. And you have been watching and not winning. Now, some of you are our clients, I can tell. Obviously, some of you are not. So let's stop waiting and start rating. Let's stop watching and start winning. All these little quips that are fun to say, stop doing it. Okay. I want to give you permission to go get what you're owed, to go do it now. It is for you. It's not going to be that hard. Let this Marine Corps veteran tell you what to do. Go do it right now. Put in free claim review, 858-360-2227. Stop sleeping on this. We love you guys. We're here for you. We want the best for you, but the best for you isn't this analysis paralysis, black hole abyss of non-worthiness, or just you can't figure it out. Let me do that. I will figure it out. We've done it 18,000 times, and it's not as hard as you think. So I love you. Goodbye and good night.